So what's going on, guys? This is Pickowicz here, and we are training arms today. I want to show you guys how to build your arms, how to build strength in your arms, and how to get the most out of an arm workout. So let's kill it. So we're starting off with close grip bench, trying to increase our bench strength and trying to get the most out of a compound movement on our triceps. So what we're doing right now is we're warming up one plate, we're going to do 12 reps, and then we're going to do a plate in 10s and just get another 10 to 12 reps. Just trying to get a nice little pump in there, trying to loosen up the elbows before we move up in weight and really increase to the higher and heavier compounds of this movement. So with close grip bench, it's one of the most important compound movements for your triceps. You're keeping everything controlled in here, you're really driving up, and you're trying to contract just your triceps. So your elbows aren't getting out here, you're not engaging your chest that much, and your delts aren't taking over. Now, we're progressing the weight, 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps. Ideally, we want to sit for another 6 reps. I got 2 plates and a 5 for 6 reps. I'm going to stay here, actually I'm going to go up 2.5 and try to get another 6 reps. The thing is with your arms, with everything, it's progressive overload. So push a little bit more. If you can get a little bit more weight, even if it's just those small 2.5 pounds, that is a victory. So push yourself, get a little bit more, and that's what's gonna matter. So we're gonna hit this next set. So now we're gonna go on to curls. So we're starting with barbell curls, straight bar, keeping our elbows back, keeping our shoulders back, and really trying to get the most out of the bicep movement without using our shoulders. Now, the thing that is really important here is that we're starting with the movements that we can move the most weight on. You know, with a barbell curl, you can get a little bit more into it as long as you're not throwing your body into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna progress here with more weight, more weight, more weight. So each time we can push our arms a little bit further than they would usually be able to go with a more strict curl. Barbell curls, like I said, it's okay to get a little bit of motion because essentially you can't get a form of a spotter. So what we're doing is we're getting our hips into it slightly and utilizing our body to essentially act as a spotter, give us that last cheat rep to get more weight on the biceps. Now, if you find that your elbows aren't staying by your side and your shoulders start coming up, that's when you need to go down in weight. But this should be done on that last set, on those last final reps to push yourself just a little bit further. So that's my 2 cents. It's okay to cheat as long as you're controlled, as long as you're keeping form, and as long as you're not doing more weight than you know you can handle. focus on doing supersets. When you talk about your muscles, when you talk about whether it's legs, arms, shoulders, whatever it is, you can either work off of pushing more weight and breaking down your muscle that way, or you can work on getting as much blood to the muscle as possible. So with your arms, it really helps to get a good pump. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit a bicep exercise, and then we're gonna hit a tricep exercise. So we're hitting dual opposites. That way you can get as much blood into that area and really facilitate the best pump and the best rush of nutrients to that area, to that muscle, to really help it grow. So now we're gonna keep going, keep getting heavier, and keep hitting these sets. About these exercises. For your overhead, it's really important that you bring your shoulders all the way back. A lot of times people complain that it hurts their shoulders. That's because their shoulders aren't all the way back, so they have a lot of shoulder motion involved. And then when you're switching over to a bicep curl, it's the same principle. I want to be here, and I want to have a slight supination. So I want my pinky to slightly turn out. I want to be coming here. I don't want to just be stagnant here. And I don't want to be just sitting here with weight that's too light. So focus on what you're doing on the eccentric all the way down and the concentric. Focus on the squeeze. Focus on really getting the most out of those reps and progressing your weight so you feel that actual contraction. Not so you're just sitting here counting the time, waiting so you can go home and eat. For me, it's always pancakes. I'm a big pancake guy, but thinking more about how does this weight actually work with the biceps, and that's what's going to benefit you the most. So on to the next set, on to the next exercise. Preacher curls are one of the better machines, better bicep movements, because it isolates your biceps and it doesn't allow you to take control with your shoulders. So if you're doing this, you can use a regular bar, but I like to use this machine just because it's a little bit easier to focus on constant tension. But the biggest important thing is that I'm here stretching down and squeezing my arms up. I don't want to have to cheat, and I don't want to be getting only half reps. So big thing there, focus on the full contraction and stretch. And we'll talk about triceps in a second too. You guys aren't sick of hearing me talk yet, but I'm going to talk a little bit more because I think you really need to get this message. When you're doing these exercises, there's ways to push yourself a little bit more. Some is supersets, which is what we're doing with these two exercises, putting them together. Some are pushing more weight, but you can also do things called drop sets. So performing your last exercise, pushing as much weight as possible, and once you hit that final rep, you cut that weight in half, and you just keep going and keep pushing the muscle. The thing that that's going to do is it's going to keep your heart rate up. It's going to increase the amount of blood flow you get to that muscle, meaning you're going to increase the amount of nutrients that go there. And I know I have some females who might be watching this, and if you are a lady who's just tuning in, I want you to hear this because it's really important. There's no such thing as an exercise for a man and a woman. It just doesn't exist. That is marketing. It's not true. They're trying to sell you something. So if you're a female or you're a male, you can use this training exercise. You can use these movements as things to implement on your own and just do them at your own capacity. It's not a matter of, oh, I'm a female, so I have to lift lightweight with heavy or high reps. Those things don't exist. It's about building muscle. It's about building lean muscle, and that's going to make it so you can reduce body fat and have the physique you want. So don't let them sell you on that. Use these training principles, use these techniques, and start to work on building the physique you want. So we have one more thing to do. One more. So you got to hold on just for one more second, and let's hit the final thing and finish strong. barbell kickbacks. There's a couple ways you can perform the exercise, but I'm keeping my knee on the bench. I'm keeping my shoulder and chest up, parallel to the ground, and I'm focusing solely on the contraction of my triceps. So I'm not trying to dip my shoulder down. I'm not trying to get a movement here. Everything is in an isolation point, and it's right here. So you want to think of, if I had a string here, I would just be pulling that string back. Here, string back. And everything is just in that tricep. And the great thing, I'm sorry, I love Queen. But the most important thing is that you focus on hitting something that hits single arm movements. So we've run through all our exercises. We're gonna hit the triceps, an extra exercise, because it is the biggest part of our arms. It takes up more mass than our biceps. But at the same time, we're doing it as a single arm movement so we can switch it up, contract each one separately, focus on building each one at its own pace. So that is our arm day, focusing on hitting our biceps with 3 movements, focusing on hitting our triceps with 4, and each time trying to push a little bit more weight, trying to push a little bit more reps, but keeping the form, keeping everything focused, and making sure that we get the most out of each contraction possible. So I'm Brian Pickowicz. This is the arm day. This is the Train with Brian series. Comment below what you guys want to see. Comment below what you need, and above all else, let's keep inspiring others to believe in more. Boom Zeus.